right, YouTube, welcome back to the Garrison. This is Dtroy coming to you once again with another episode showing you my newest painted U.S. Naval collection that I recently painted for my friend Wartorn, who is a member of the Cliffside Bunker. Wartorn is a regular player and member of the Cliffside Bunker in Ontario, Canada. All right, so here we have his collection that I've painted for him, and it took me, I would say, like about 4 or 5 days to paint this particular collection. I have also included 3 magnetized carriers using a my new painting technique that I've recently developed. Okay, it's actually I came up with this technique not on my own. It was actually a compilation of different styles I borrowed from from Sire Blood, from Dirk Huntsler, and also I took advice from one of my Playgroup's newest member, Jeff, who made several suggestions, and that definitely made a big difference with the final product and appearance of my new magnetized carriers. So Wartorn is the first beneficiary of this new technique that we have developed here at the Garrison. Needless to say, though, I do have to say that Sire Blood has also developed a similar technique where he is also magnetizing his carriers by using primer paint. So much of the credit is also owed to him. In any case, guys, let me start this video by first starting out with showing you my Liberty class destroyers. Correction, naval transports. These are not destroyers, but naval transports. Let me see if I can get it into focus. Right, as you guys well know, the Liberty class naval transports were built for the U.S. Navy, or actually, I believe the U.S. Merchant Navy, during the Second World War. They saw action in the Pacific and in the Atlantic. All right, let's move on to my Gato class submarines. Okay, let me pan to the left. There you are. Okay. Hope you can see some of the detail. There you go. Okay, of course, these are the Gato class, and these particular sculpts are out of box, as well as the Liberty class, by the way. They're both out of box game pieces or sculpts. Okay, as I review this particular naval collection, I need to make a shout out for Jay's Soul or Sal. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm probably mispronouncing your last name. Jay recently reached out to me. Jay has shown an interest in painting his own collection. He's a relative newcomer to the hobby, and he has also reached out to Sire Blood in California. As it turns out, Jay lives about an hour away from Sire Blood. Ever since he reached out to me, Jay and I have been in constant back and forth communication. We either speak over the phone or text each other. So he's a great guy. I commend him for reaching out, and I figure I give him a shout out and a welcome to our community. All right, guys, so let me continue now, and we're going to do so by showing you the destroyers of this U.S. Naval collection. And of course, as we all know, these are the Fletcher class. This particular sculpt is an out-of-box game piece. There you go. All right. Okay, now let's go on to our light cruisers. Okay, there you go. All right, these light cruisers okay, are the Omaha class light cruisers. They are actually a World War One design. They were not built though until the 1920s. Ironically, the Omaha class were cruisers that were built to counter British the British cruisers who were being built at the time. Ironically, the U.S. naval war plans also included the British as possible opponents in a possible war, which of course was very highly unlikely. But war planners at the time uh, basically left nothing to chance and decided that it'd be best if the U.S. would counter British, what is the British version of their own cruisers. Okay, all right. By the way, this particular sculpt is from historical board gaming. Okay, the next type of cruiser or sculpt that we have here is the Baltimore class heavy cruiser, which is the one right here. Okay, or these right here. All right, these were built during the Second World War. Okay, they saw action mostly in the Pacific. A few, though, were deployed. I believe at least two of these cruisers of what is it of the Baltimore class saw action in the Atlantic. There you go. And of course, this particular sculpt, as you can see, is from historical board game. All right, let's go to the next, and the ones right here. Okay, and this, of course, is a Portland class cruiser. Okay, only two of these were built. I believe these were built in the late or mid 1930s. Her sister ship was the Indianapolis. Now, for those of you who are history buffs, know that the Indianapolis was actually the warship that was used to transport the nuclear bomb or the atom bomb to the Pacific, so that it would then later be deployed against the Japanese in the mid to late 1945. Okay, of course, the Indianapolis, after making its delivery, was eventually sunk by a Japanese submarine. The majority or a good number of its crew died. The victims of not only the fact that they were sunk, but there were many of them were taken out by sharks in the sea. All right, so this particular game piece or sculpt is actually also out of box. All right. All right, let me see what we have next. And now I believe we have the South Dakota class. Okay, these are battleships that were also built, I believe, at the end of the 1930s. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you guys can see the detail. Okay. All right, this particular sculpt is from historical board gaming. I am very impressed with this. Keeps on getting out of focus. Okay, there you go. That's better. All right, this particular sculpt is from historical board gaming. It's a very nice sculpt. It's a pleasure to paint this miniature. A lot of fun, and I highly recommend that it be included in anyone's collection, especially if once again if you're painting your naval collection. It's a must-have in anyone's painted naval collection for the U.S. And of course, it's the Idaho class. I believe the United States Navy commissioned about 4 of these beautiful battleships. All right. Okay, now let's go on to my I shouldn't say mine because this collection is obviously not mine. It's actually Wartorn's. But let's move on to the Essex class carriers. These sculpts are from historical board gaming. There you go. As you can see, I've placed a decal. Uh, as you have, as some of you already know, I've making the transition from painting my flat tops to placing decals on them. Okay, reason being that it's not only efficient time-wise, it reduces dramatically the amount of time that is required to paint a flat top. But needless to say, they just look really good. Okay, these carriers, by the way, have been magnetized. I've under the decal, I have what is it, adhered or brushed on a layer of magnetic primer, in essence magnetizing the aircraft carriers. Okay, so just to show you, give you an idea of what we're dealing here with. Right here you have a US tactical bomber, naval tactical bomber, and I'm going to place it on the flat top, and it's not gonna fall, guys. All right, so it's a beautiful innovation. Let me back up, let me pan out a bit so you guys can see. All right, so it's definitely very useful to have or to be able to play with magnetized carriers and not have to worry about the aircraft falling off from the surface of your flat top. Okay, now as you can see, let me show you that you can easily remove. You can move the aircraft from the surface of the flat top or the flight deck without that much difficulty. Actually, I'm having some trouble with this one for some reason, but mostly they do come off easily. There you go, see? Oh well, for some reason they're sticking well today. All right, there you go. Alrighty. And if I haven't mentioned already, these sculpts are from historical board gaming. They're very well made. Also a must-have. Very nice. All right. Last but not least, Wartorn asked me if I could also paint his turn marker. Okay, and his turn marker is actually a facsimile of the atom bomb, the Fat Boy, which I painted for him as well. And it's pretty nice. It's I believe this is from historical board gaming. I may be wrong, but I believe I saw it in historical board gaming. You see, it comes it comes with its own base or stand. Okay. Well, I do hope that Wartorn gets a kick out of his new naval collection. I hope he enjoys his collection, and that he has many hours of fun-filled action, and that he gets a kick out of it. All right, guys. As usual, I'll be letting you guys go. Let me know what your thoughts are. I do take your commentaries, and look forward to hearing from you. So until next time, guys, don't forget to hunker down and play.